What's going on, everyone? It's Pat Man Trucking back with another video. Today we're going to talk about what it's like to go out with a trainer for a month, because it's not hard if you get a good trainer. It can be difficult for others. My experience was I had a great trainer. I stayed with him the whole time. It depends. It's hard to put two people in a truck for that long and expect them to mesh together. People's got different personalities. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what it's like to be out on the road with somebody you've never met for a month. So my situation was, when I got done with orientation, I went home for a week. Uh, I was nervous because I didn't want to get stuck with some old man who thought he knew everything and didn't want to show you because he expected you to know how to do it. And, I've heard a lot of horror stories about that. And in my opinion, you can't expect someone to know how to do something if they've never done it before. So that was what I was thinking I was going to get for a trainer. But I got a pretty cool dude. He was, a little bit older than me. Me and him meshed pretty good together, by the end of it. We still talk to this day. We'll call each other about once a week, talk, see where everybody's at. But, I can't speak on how rough it is to have bad trainers, but I can tell you the horror stories I've heard, where people's come into orientation, done everything they need to do, and go through like 4 trainers, in a matter of, weeks. And usually when that happens, Roehl don't, they kick you out because if you're going through that many trainers, you're not doing something right, or the trainers ain't doing something right. But if you go through 4 to 5 trainers, in that month span, you're not doing something right. Some people have different circumstances. Like, they'll get with a trainer that goes home every weekend, so you can be stuck with a trainer. So that means you're going to be, in training longer because you're going home every weekend. Or you can be stuck with somebody who stays out a month, and you'll be done in exactly a month because that's how long he stays out. Or you can get somebody who just does dedicated routes. Like, I think Roehl has craft dedicated routes where they run the craft plants. And then you're not doing that when you get out of orientation, so you're not to know what to expect because you're running these same routes every time. Then when you get out in the real world, driving a truck, you're hitting places you've never hit before. And let me tell you, when you've hit places that you've never hit before, that shit's nerve-wracking because you don't know what you're rolling up into because, you got their GPS here, and it tells you to take this left, and you go down there, and you ain't supposed to be down that road. You're screwed. So, like, you got to really look at what you're doing before you do it. I'd advise everybody to come in, after they do their, month of training with their trainer, to get them a GPS or some kind of GPS unit for their truck. Because, some trainers, they'll train you with one. I got trained with that one. So we use their system, on our phones. There's some good apps that my trainer passed on to me. Roehl's got it. They'll tell you about it. It's called Trucker Path. It gives you all like rest areas, truck stops that trucks can fit into, Walmarts, places like that. It's really helpful, when you got to shut down. There's stuff that your trainer can't train you because it just don't happen. Like, I never got trained on how to use personal conveyance. I got told about it, but we never had to use it. So, like, the first time I had to use personal conveyance, that shit was all new to me. So, stuff like that, they can't show you because it's just not there for them to show you because the circumstances hasn't got to that point yet. Like, I wasn't trained on how to write an EFS checks. I was told about it. Telling and doing is 2 different things because when you have to write an EFS check and you've never done it before, you got to register that check. You got to call Roehl. You got to get money put on it. Different stuff different processes you got to do for that. If you never do it in training, you're going to be lost when you get out here. So you got to prepare yourself for these situations when you get out of training. Also, like, see what else we can talk about. Like, the trainers can't prepare you for, like, if your GPS unit goes out. You got to prepare yourself. You got to learn to read an atlas. Like I said, buy another GPS. Don't rely on your phone because it will screw you. That's one thing my trainer taught me. Do not rely on your phone. You know, circumstances are different for everybody. So, you know, just because you go out with a trainer, me and my trainer, we went to some of the best places you can go to, you know, easy backs. And we went to some, you know, kind of tight places, but I had the best training experience that you could have because, you know, we didn't get put in screwed up situations. When I got here by myself, they was throwing me into shit shows. Like, I'm telling you, like, these places were horrible. And I'm like I was telling him, I was like, dude, how the hell are they going to throw me into places like this? And then when you're with your trainer, you get all the good looks. Well, that's just how it works, you know. It's different situations. You can be with a trainer and everywhere you go is just shitty. And when you get on by yourself, you get great places, you know. So, I can only speak for how it is, you know, for me. Now, training, after you complete your training, you'll go back to the closest terminal near you you'll have to do your final test. It's a driving test with an instructor. Make sure you actually can drive the truck safely before they turn you loose in one. So that's how that works. I went to Gary. He dropped me off in Gary. You'll go in. You'll get one of the bunk rooms in there, and they'll give you a time and a date that you're supposed to report downstairs to take your test. So, like, what you're going to do with your trainer should prepare you for what you're going to do on that test. You're supposed to do your pre-trips. The trainer's supposed to teach you about pre-trips. And pre-trip is one of the most important things you can do, you know, because if you don't pre-trip and you don't check your tires and you got a gash in your tire and you're going down the road and your tire blows, it's nobody's fault but your own because you didn't do a proper pre-trip. And that if the trainer is not doing what he's supposed to be doing, you need to tell somebody because you're not getting the training that you need to succeed in this job. And this job's hard enough as it is, and if you're not properly trained, you're not going to succeed. The trainer's supposed to teach you how to use your time wisely. Like, you know, when you roll up to a place and you're sitting to be unloaded, you shouldn't be sitting there on the clock wasting your drive time. And if he's not helping you with that process because he don't want to work, he's screwing you out of proper training. A trainer should teach you how to use an atlas because you should check your routes that you're getting with the atlas to correspond and make sure those are truck routes. You know, he should teach you how to plan your day from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. You should know where you're going to stop to take your breaks, when you're going to shut down for the night. Different circumstances, you know, you can plan for all that, but stuff happens. Like the interstate shuts down because of a truck flip, or, you know, other circumstances, you know, gas leaks, you know, car accidents. You'll be sitting for hours waiting on something to get cleared because somebody decided they wanted to be a jackass and wrecked their car in the middle of the road. You know, stuff like that. So you gotta prepare for stuff like that in your head because it will happen. Trust me, I know. I've only been doing this for about 7 months. You will see a lot of car accidents, so I'd prepare yourself for that. You know, you might see something you don't want to see. But training, the best advice I can give you for going into training with a trainer is to, you know what you're supposed to be getting trained on. If you don't know, ask somebody. Somebody will tell you. Ask me, I'll tell you. You know, what you should be getting trained on. Most important to pre-trip. Pre-trip. Always remember your pre-trip. Second most important thing is safety. If he ain't teaching you about safety, he's setting you up to fail. You know, then everything else follows. You know, if you've made it this far, you got your CDLs, you've been tested So you can drive a truck somewhat. I don't know if you're horrible at driving one. That's up to you and your trainer to decide that. So be prepared. The trainer can kick you off the truck at any time he wants. It's his vehicle. So he can kick you off. So, you know, mind yourself when you come into a trainer's truck, because this is his home for 2 weeks at a time for the most of the time. So you can't come in and expect him to give you drawers and stuff like that. You know, I come in, I kept my duffel bag on the foot of my bed, my pillow up top, and my blanket. And I didn't mess with his stuff, he didn't mess with mine. I stayed in my duffel bag when I needed to change. I changed. We went to a truck stop. We tried to go to a truck stop at least, once every 2 days to take a shower. Because, out here trucking, you don't get to take a shower every day like you would at home. So, trainer's supposed to do that. You're supposed to keep the truck clean, safe, sanitary. Trainer's supposed to do all that. You're supposed to help. It's part of your job as a trainee. But that's all I got for training with the trainer. I know we got off topic a little bit in this video, but, I'm just spitting the truth out here, Trucking's not for everybody, so don't expect to come in here and like it. If it's not for you, you'll find it out, I promise you, because this is a stressful job. It's not like working a 9 to 5 at home in a factory, or, working in a doctor's office, or being a police officer. This is a totally different lifestyle than all of those. And you'll find that out probably within the first couple months of trucking. So keep all that in mind. If you get your CDL program, you're stuck with them for a year, even though you hate this job. So keep all that in mind. So that's all I got for this video. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, ask the questions. I'll get back to you if I didn't cover something in this video you want to know about. Leave a comment. I'll reply back. That's it. Thank you for watching Pat Man Trucking.